Say, Amos, this seems like Sunday.
It is Sunday. You see, Andy, we is on the radio now every Sunday on CBS for Rinso.
That's right. Rinso, the new Rinso with Solium, brings you the Amos and Andy Show. Rinso, the soap that contains Solium, the sunlight ingredient, brings you a full half hour of entertainment with Lou Lubin, Eddie Green, Jeff Alexander's orchestra and chorus, and radio's all-time favorites, Amos and Andy. And now, Lever Brothers Company, the makers of Rinso, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy Amos and Andy. Well, as the fall season rolls around once again, let us look in on the home of the Kingfish and his wife, Sapphire Stevens. The time is noon. The Kingfish has just come home for lunch to find Sapphire packing her bag.
Sapphire, what you doing stuffing your clothes in the suitcase there?
I'm taking a little trip to Chicago to visit Mama. You know, George, I ain't seen her for almost 5 years. I wonder what she looks like now.
Yeah, well, don't get your hopes too high, Sapphire. Once you look like a walrus, you always look like a walrus.
Oh, I'm so anxious to see her. She wrote me that she's got a job working in a florist shop, and it makes her so happy to be surrounded by flowers.
Yeah, you know, it'd make me happy to see her that way myself.
That'll do. I don't want to hear another word about it. Now, listen here, George. There's something you just got to do for me while I'm gone.
Now, what's that?
There's an old school chum of mine getting in town tomorrow from Georgia by the name of Lula Mae Simpson. Her husband passed on last year, and she's coming up here to look around for another husband, and we got to help her.
Yeah, well, what you want me to do about it?
I want you to introduce her to some nice, edible bachelors. But none of them bums over at that large hall.
Yeah, what does this Lula Mae look like?
Well, she happens to weigh 225 pounds, but she's got a real sweet face. See, here's a picture of her she sent me with the letter. And we just got to find her a husband.
Let me see the picture.
Here she is.
Holy mackerel. Compared to her, a hippopotamus is a delicate creature.
George, we got to get my girlfriend a husband.
Yeah, well, I ain't going to introduce her to nobody.
Well, if you don't, then I ain't going, and I'll have Mama visit us.
Visit us? Sweetheart, you has done blackmailed me into it. All right. Well, Henry Van Porter, come in. I ain't seen you for months.
Oh, charming to see you, Kingfish.
Yeah, tell me, Henry, did you have a nice summer?
Oh, yes, we had a long motor trip. We went from here out to California to see that place where they have the big redwoods, Yosemite Park.
Well...
And then we panhandled through Texas and ended up at White Sulphuric Springs.
Sounds like you had quite a trip there, son.
Oh, yes. How about you, Kingfish? Did you escape the heat of the city this summer?
Oh, yeah, me and my wife Sapphire went up on the roof a couple of times, squirted a hose on each other. Sapphire's taking a little trip now, though. She left yesterday for Mother's, thank goodness.
Yeah, well, you should be all smiles.
Yeah, but I got a tough job, Henry. Sapphire's got a gal friend that gets in town today that wants to get married, and Sapphire wants me to introduce her to some legible bachelors, you see. It's a gal built like an elephant by the name of Lula Mae Simpson. Just come up from Georgia.
Lula Mae Simpson? Wait a minute here. There's an item in the Society column about her in today's newspaper.
In the Society column?
Yes, and it says she was left a $20,000 estate by her late husband, and she's planning to spend the entire winter in our city.
$20,000? You know, Henry, if I could find some guy to marry her, I could collect a marriage broker's fee. I'd be on Easy Street. I wonder who I could get.
Well, I ain't got the faintest idea, but I've just seen him walking toward the pool room.
So Andy's at the pool hall, huh?
Yes, you know, Kingfish, maybe this scheme of yours will work. If you get them together, maybe Dan Cupid will hit Andy with the arrow.
Yeah, well, if you don't hit Andy, you certainly can't miss Lula Mae, I tell you that. Now, when Andy come into office here, if I can just make him think that I was a marriage broker, maybe I can stick him with that fat gal Lula Mae, and that way get a credit of $20,000. Oh, here he come now. I'll get on the telephone here.
Hi there, Kingfish. What you doing?
I was a marriage broker, Andy, with clients all over the world. There's a big shortage of women. Right now, I was waiting for a long-distance call from Australia.
Australia?
Wait a minute. Here it come now. Hello? Who is this, Australia? Oh, hello, Ozzy. What's the trouble? Oh, you say you was at the church waiting to get married and you can't find a wife, huh? Well, that's too bad. I see. Yeah, well, my advice to you is to grab the first good-looking kangaroo that comes along. Yeah, all you all spoken for, huh? Oh, this shortage is really worldwide. Sorry, I can't help you. Well, goodbye. Happy boomerang to you and all that stuff. See you later. Goodbye.
Say, Kingfish, what is this worldwide thing you're talking about?
Andy, it's a shortage of women. You know, of course, that there's a shortage of women.
I'll say. The one I took out last night only came up to my belt buckle.
No, Andy. I mean that there ain't enough women to go around. Ain't you heard about it?
No, the drought ain't hit me yet. I was just figuring the other night, on the basis of smooching, this has been my best year since 1941. No, there's a shortage, Andy. Matter of fact, statistics prove that within the next 10 years, if the shortage of women keeps up, 1 out of 5 babies will be born without a mother. What is they doing about the situation?
Well, with the shortage in this part of the country, we has got to bring women from another part of the country where they got a longage, you see.
Oh, yeah.
The situation is bad, Andy.
Yeah, well, maybe I ought to do something about this shortage of women.
Yeah, you're right. Now, you as my pal, maybe I can help you. Let me look at my list here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Here, I got it. Holy Moses, you was in luck.
Yeah.
There's one that's just been imported from Georgia that's worth $20,000 in cash.
$20,000? Sounds like she's a lovely woman. I'll take her. What's she look like?
Her name is Lula Mae Simpson. Or maybe I got a picture of her here. Yeah, here she is, right here. Look at that.
Wow. The way she's puffed out there, she must have that $20,000 around her waist in a $1 bill.
She's a little fat in this picture, Andy, but the photographer took what's called a double exposure, you see. Yeah, but I tell you, Andy, for $20,000, you can forget a little blubber, you know.
Oh, Kingfish, I couldn't even get my arms around her waist.
Yes, you can if you time it right. Just watch her breathing and catch her on the inhale, that's all.
She got $20,000, huh?
Yeah.
Where'd she make all that money at? Wrestling?
No.
Well, she's a mighty big woman.
And look here, you just judging by the surface. Underneath that fat, she's probably very skinny.
Yeah, that's right, you know, and that $20,000 would put me on easy street,
Well,
too.
now, look here, you don't get the whole 20 now. Wait a minute. You see, there's a marriage broker fee of 50%. You got to split that money with me, you see.
50%? Ain't that a lot?
No. Well, don't forget, I'm gonna help you now split the expenses of the courtship with her.
Oh.
The cost of the engagement ring and all that stuff.
Yeah, but how come you taking 50%?
Oh, that's the fee set by the government, and on all marriages where the broker arranges the marriage before the groom ever sees the bride.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in the Constitution. That's what they call the pig in the poker amendment.
Well, okay, it's a deal. I'll give you 50%. You think this thing is going to work out good for me, Kingfish?
Oh, Andy, with all that dough, you be going around saying,
I is in the money,
and it's gonna be a great day. When you're down and out, lift up your hands and shout, there's gonna be a great day.
Hallelujah, brother. Angels in the sky. Promise that try and climb. There's gonna be a great day. Hallelujah.
Gabriel will warn you, some early morn, you will hear his horn.
It's not far away. Hold up your hand and say, there's gonna be a great day.
Hallelujah.
When skies were dark, came Noah's Ark.
Amen.
When lions roared, came Daniel's Lord.
Amen. Lord, help those who pray, and on Judgment Day.
If you believe he will receive you,
Amen. Gabriel will walk you.
some early morn, you will hear his horn.
It's not far away. Hold up your hands and say, there's gonna be a great, great day. Great day. Great days are
coming. Gather round your congregation. Get yourself right to that station.
There's gonna be a great, 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 great day.
This is your old friend, John Lake, and I must say it's mighty nice to be back talking to you again. Especially about wonderful new Rinso with Solium. You know, every time I saw a Rinso wash last summer, with all those white clothes whiter than new and gay washable colors even brighter than new, I said to myself, John, you're not going to be really happy until you're back on the air telling people about new Rinso. Now, only new Rinso can do this amazing thing. White clothes actually come whiter than new, and washable colors brighter. I think that's really something. Matter of fact, today's Rinso is so different from ordinary soaps, you can even dry clothes indoors on a rainy day, and they'll turn out swell. Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Now, this sounds marvelous. But if you've ever tried new Rinso, you know it's absolutely true. Wonderful, safe, soapy, rich new Rinso with Solium. More women use Rinso than any other wash day soap in the world.
Well, hello there, Andy. What you doing standing outside of Shorty's barbershop?
Hello, Amos. I'm waiting for the Kingfish. Did you hear the big news about me?
About you? No, I ain't, Andy. What's happened to you?
I'm going to get nuptialated.
You gonna get what? That got me a little there. What you gonna get?
Well, to an ignorant fellow like you, that means I'm going to get married. In other words, Amos, I'm going to enter into holy deadlock.
Tell me this. Why is this happening all of a sudden?
Listen, Amos, in 10 years, there are going to be 5 babies born to every short mother.
I don't exactly understand what you're talking about, Andy. Who is you marrying?
Well, she just got to town from Georgia in a poke. She's a pig. Well, I got my constitutional rights, all right.
Yeah, I don't understand this, Andy.
Well, don't worry, Amos. I was getting $20,000 worth of blubber.
Yeah?
Here comes the Kingfish now. I'll see you later.
Yeah, well, drop over to the house sometime after you have your head examined. So long.
Yeah, I'll do that. So long. Hi, Kingfish.
Well, hello there, Andy. Say, listen, you didn't tell Amos too much, did you?
Oh, he's so ignorant he don't know what I'm talking about no way.
Well, come on, let's get on in the barbershop here and see Shorty.
Hi, Shorty.
Oh, there's my pal. How is you?
Well, I'll be doggone. Look who, what's cooking? You, I'm getting hired, fellas.
Hey, Shorty, tell me this. Did you have a nice summer?
Oh, yeah, great time, fellas. I spent my vacation last summer on a farm. And just so I wouldn't lose my touch as a barber, I kept in practice by shaving the goats around the place.
Shaving the goat?
Yeah, I lather up the goats, strap my razor, and shave them as clean as a whistle. I must have shaved 3 dozen goats.
Yeah, well, did all the practice help you out now that you're back in the barbershop?
I don't know. I ain't had a goat to come in yet.
Oh, wait a minute now. Look here, Shorty. Look here. We're going to let you in on a secret.
Yeah, I'm going to marry a rich woman with $20,000.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, and I want you to give Andy a good haircut and a shave here. He's going over and meet her for the first time.
Oh, sure. I'll fix him up. And by the way, Andy, you don't want to let her think that you's after her money. Tell her that you's a rich man, too.
Hey, Andy, that's a good idea. We'll put on the dog with her. Tell her you was a Texas millionaire.
Yeah. You know something, fellas? I was caught in a gal once, and I didn't know how to make an impression on her. A friend of mine told me to court her with music.
Music, huh? Well, what'd you do?
Well, I done just like them romantic troubadours of old. I got me a guitar, and I serenaded her under her balcony. I stood out there in the moonlight, and with my beautiful voice, I sang, "Oh, so love me."
Hey, that's great, Shorty. What did the gal say?
Oh, she said, Shorty, that's the most beautiful music. You got the sweetest voice I could listen to you singing prayer. You got stop the music.
Well, Andy, here's Lula Mae May's apartment. Now, remember, you was a wealthy retired oil man from Texas, and you ain't interested in money.
Yeah, well, I'll put on the dog, all right.
Okay, I'll knock on the door here.
You know, Kingfish, I'd feel better about this whole thing if that Lula May wasn't so fat.
Well, then the Lula May's size might be in your favor. Remember, the bigger it is, boy, the harder it falls, and besides...
Hey, Kingfish, hey, the building is shaking. Must be earthquake.
Wait a minute, that's Lula May coming to the door. Wait a minute here.
Why, Mr. Stevens, do come in.
Why, thank you, Mrs. Simpson. Thank you. Come on in, Andy.
If you think there's room enough in there with the three of us.
Mrs. Simpson, may I present you with Longhorn Brown? He is the retired multimillionaire from Texas. He's the fella in the society columns refers to as Filthy Rich Brown.
Well, this is indeed a pleasure, Mr. Brown. I've never met a genuine Texan before.
Likewise.
Wait a minute.
You know, Mr. Brown, I just got here from Georgia. And New York is so huge, it makes me feel positively tiny.
Yeah, that's quite a trick, all right.
Now, Mr. Stevens told me on the phone this morning that on your property down in Texas, you had a lot of cattle and oil.
Oh, yeah. There was so much oil on the place, the cattle had to wear skid chains.
Well, I guess you can make a lot of money in the oil and cattle business.
Oh, yeah, not only the oil and cattle business, but he's got millions of other things, too. Now, let's see. You made a lot of money in lumber, too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I sure did. They discovered trees on my property.
Yeah.
That Texas is really some state, all right.
All you Texans always stand up for Texas.
Yeah, well, if you was in the saddle 12 hours a day, you'd be glad to stand up for anything.
By the way, Longhorn, what was that generous thing you done the other day to show that you don't care nothing about money?
Oh, you mean last Thursday when I give away the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, that's the one I meant. Like I told you, Miss Simpson, Miss Brown is in New York for the social season. You know, parties, theaters, going to the opera and symphonies.
Oh, then you're interested in music?
Oh, yes. Mr. Brown is always slopping up that culture stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, tell me, what is your taste in symphonies?
I don't know. I ain't never tasted none.
Well, I forgot to tell you, Mr. Brown, your travel agent called this morning and wanted to know if you was going to Europe on the Queen Mary or the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, well, did you take care of it?
Yeah, I told him to buy both. Hope you'd make up your mind when you got down to the pier.
Oh, you're planning a trip to Europe?
Oh, yeah, he visits the Riviera every year. You see, Mr. Brown here's got a chateau over there.
Yeah, next year I'm going to build a house on it, too.
You know, Mr. Brown, you're one of the most charming men I ever met.
Yeah.
I do hope I'll see you again.
Oh, yeah, well, you will, Miss Simpson. After all, I don't think Miss Brown will hold it against you just because you only got $20,000.
Oh, no. I has always wanted to get to know the poor peoples better.
Yeah. Well, we must be leaving. Goodbye, Miss Simpson. Millionaire Brown here has got to get back to his office at the stock market. By the way, Brown, how is the ticker today?
Well, I was a little worried at first, but the doctor found out it was just gas. So long, Miss Simpson. So long.
Wait a minute. Miss Brown, there was something you wanted to ask Mrs. Simpson.
There was?
Yeah, remember you was telling me how delightful it would be if you and her had supper together this evening?
Oh, that would be lovely, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, well, don't cook nothing special. I'll just pick potluck.
Well, good morning. Come in, Brother Ender.
Hi, Kingfish.
Well, I ain't seen you for about 5 days, lover boy. We has got that rich widow in the bag, ain't we, son?
Wait a minute, Kingfish. Wait a minute. I ain't told you, but it done happened last night.
Holy mackerel. Now, wait a minute. I don't like the looks on your face, Ender. Don't tell me that you done put the skids under all that money we getting.
Well, you know, Kingfish, I've been courting Lula May in the daytime and kissing all my other gals goodbye at night.
Yeah, natural. Just like any other honest man would do. Go ahead.
But, you know, last night I took a cute little gal to the movies.
Yeah?
I wanted to get in some last-minute smooching before I married Lula May and the dry spell sets in. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we was sitting there smooching, and when the lights went on, somebody started beating me over the head with an umbrella. I looked around, and it was Lula May sitting right behind me. I ain't seen her since.
Andy, why did you do a thing like that? I has done pawned my furniture to raise $250, bought you that diamond engagement ring for you to give her, or we is in a mess. We got to get a hold of Stonewall, the lawyer, right away. We'll get...
know, I traveled around some last summer, and everywhere I went, I made it a point to ask housewives how they like new Rinso with Solium. Well, every time I so much as mentioned Rinso, I was overwhelmed with enthusiasm. You'd think the women were selling Rinso, not I. Rinso with Solium, they said, actually gets white clothes whiter than new, and washable colors brighter than new. Even on rainy days, even when your wash must be dried indoors, you get a brighter wash. New Rinso gives your wash a brilliance you've never known before. Now, it's because today's Rinso contains Solium, the scientific sunlight ingredient, and only Rinso has it. New Rinso is so safe for clothes, so kind to your hands. I think you'd better find out for yourself about wonderful new Rinso. I think you'd better see for yourself right away how Rinso with Solium puts sunshine in your wash. Do that, won't you?
Well, Stonewall the lawyer, come in.
Yeah, I'm sorry I was late, boys. I've been in court today defending a woman client.
Well, what happened?
Well, some woman called me up and asked me if I would defend her in court, and give her some tips on how to beat the case.
Uh-huh, yeah, go ahead,
I
Slim.
told her I couldn't get there till the last minute, but I give her some advice on the phone and told her how to act going up to the witness stand. I told her roll eyes at the jury and smile and wink at the judge and wear a form-fitting satin dress with the sheer nylon hose.
Yeah, how'd she come out?
She lost the case. I didn't know she was 93 years old.
Well, now, wait a minute, Sheriff Stonewall. Look here. We has got a problem, too, you know. You see, I'm going to tell you a secret here now, and we need some advice on it. You see, Andy is engaged to a wealthy widow, and last night, she caught him smooching in a moving picture show with another gal. She was sitting right behind him, Andy's sitting there with another gal right up in front of her, smooching there, and now she won't even talk to him.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, she's worth $20,000.
Won't talk to you, huh?
Not a word.
Yeah, well, why don't you play on her sympathy? You know, let me tell you, I saw a moving picture once where a fella had a fight with his gal, and he went off and joined the French Foreign Legion. And when his gal heard about it, she was so broken-hearted, she forgive him for everything.
Hey, Andy, that is it. We'll get Lula May to think that you was in the French Foreign Legion. I got an old Lord's uniform at home. We'll fix it up a little, and then when you walked in with it on you, you throws around a little French, you know, you say, Vive la France and sailor gear and all that stuff. You know that?
Yeah, that's good. You get Lula May over at the lodge hall, Kingfish, and I'll come in all dressed up like a French soldier.
Well, Stonewall, you is really a pal. Don't forget to send us a bill for this.
I wish all my clients was like you, yeah. You know, I had one client I worked like a dog to get him off on a murder charge. I give him the advantage of all of my legal experience. He was so ungrateful he didn't even pay the bill I sent him.
You mean defended him in a murder charge? Well, you know, maybe he didn't, the bill didn't even reach him.
Oh, he got it all right. I even got proof he was carrying the bill in his pocket.
Well, how could you tell?
This morning it come back from Sing Sing all scorched round the edges.
Oh, really? Now, Lula May, just calm down. Will you please just calm down? I asked you to come over to my office here to tell you that Andy is broken-hearted, and he has done joined up with the French Foreign Legion. He's even wearing the uniform.
The French Foreign Legion? Why, I can hardly believe it.
Yeah. That sounds like the French Foreign Legion knock now. Wait a minute. Come in.
Why, Andy.
Excuse me, folks. Have you seen any Arabs go through here?
Uniform. You really joined the French Foreign Legion?
Yes, I. Vivian LaFrance of Sailors in Gear.
Are you really going overseas?
Yes, sir. I'm going over with the first shipment of Legionite. And I have joined the most dangerous branch of the French Foreign Legion, the branch that carries the guns.
Oh, Andy, it sounds like I'll never see you again.
Yeah, that's right, Lula May. Nobody that ever joins the Legion ever comes back.
Yeah, the fact is, they are so sure that you getting knocked off that they send you into battle with a coffin strap right on your back. That's what they do.
Oh, you mean there's no hope of me ever seeing you again?
I don't think so.
You see, Lula May, this Foreign Legion is the toughest outfit in the world. If you live long enough to get a discharge, they shoot you as a coward. That's what they do.
That's right. The only way to save your own life is to commit suicide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is very sad, Lula May, and all this happened just because you broke his heart.
Well, I'd like to hear an explanation of why he was out with another girl.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that myself.
Now, wait a minute, Lula May, we can explain that. You see, that other gal that you seen him with in the moving picture show, that was Andy's sister.
Yeah, that's right. Come to think of it, that was my sister, all right.
Your sister? Well, why are you taking her to the movies?
Well, now, you see, Andy's brother-in-law was out of town, and Andy was sort of taking his place and doing what he would do.
Yes, but why were you kissing her?
Well, you see, Andy can't help it if his brother-in-law is a little affectionate, you know. He can't help that.
Well, but Andy, if this is true, why didn't you explain it last night?
Well, it's pretty hard to talk when somebody's beating you over the head with an umbrella.
Well, Andy, dear, I've decided to forgive you.
Oh, this is great. Look here, honey. I done bought you your engagement ring. Here you is.
Oh, Andy, this is wonderful.
Oh, that's a real diamond there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know, Andy, little old me is just crazy about little old you.
And little old me is just crazy about big fat you.
Well, folks, everything is all set for the wedding.
Yeah, stop by the telegraph office and wire the Foreign Legion not to count on me this time.
Don't worry, my love birds. I'll send a straight telegram direct to General de Gosden. Yep. Well, Andy, it took us just about a week to put over this whole thing. Tomorrow you marries the rich widow. And just to think, we gets 20,000 smackers.
Yeah, but this courtship has done cost me money, you know it?
Yeah, well, don't forget, I put up $250 of it, and I want my half of that $20,000, in fact.
Yeah.
Well, Sapphire, when did you get back in town?
Hello, George, dear. Hello, Andy.
Hi.
I got in about 2 hours ago.
Well, Sapphire, I got a big surprise for you. Some wonderful news. Your friend Lula May is getting married tomorrow.
Why, George, that's wonderful. Oh, I must go call her up.
Oh, and before I tell you about the groom, I just want to say that it was a lucky thing that society column told about her inheriting $20,000 from her first husband.
Oh, I'm so glad. I told her to put that in the paper so she could hook a rich husband. She ain't got a nickel.
Oh, Ladies and gentlemen, Sunday night is a new night for us on the radio. If you have an opportunity, we would appreciate you telling your friends of this new time each Sunday night for the Amos and Andy Show on the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And we'd appreciate one more thing, folks, and that's when you're going to your grocery store.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we would greatly appreciate you buying Rinso. The new Rinso with Solium. You will be surprised and delighted at the new Rinso. Thank you, and good night, folks.
See you next Sunday.
Be sure to be with us next Sunday at the same time when Lever Brothers Company, the makers of New Rinso with Solium, will again present the Amos and Andy Show. Until then, good night to all of you from all of us.
Amazing? Yes, but doctors have proved it. Lifebuoy Health Soap in your daily bath gets skin cleaner. Stops BO as no other leading soap can. Get Lifebuoy right away.
Be sure and listen to the Amos and Andy Show at the same time next Sunday. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.